up, guys? I'm LQ. This is the LQ Review. Thank you so much for joining me here at my YouTube channel. This is where we talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that I love to talk about. Movies, video games, comic books, TV shows, and right now I'd like to give you guys my quick review on the Disney Plus original short film, Burrow. Now, this was dropped onto Disney Plus on Christmas Day. And I think that there was a real lack of fanfare for it because it was kind of overshadowed by the dropping of episode 1 of the Making of Mandalorian show, and obviously it was overshadowed by Soul. So what did I think of Burrow? It's a short film. It's only about 6 minutes long, and it's an animated film, 2D animation, by the way, which I love 2D animation. And it's about a rabbit that's, he has his blueprint. It's an animated rabbit. He has his blueprint, and he burrows down into the ground, and it's a very simple blueprint, and he wants to create a home for himself. And he's got the blueprint for the home. And he starts to get frustrated because other animals who also live subterraneously, there's, moles and gosh, I forget what else there was, there's a worm, there's all sorts of animals he bumps into under there, but a couple of them actually end up burrowing into his home, and he gets real frustrated, so he goes deeper, and as he goes deeper he runs into somebody else's home, and then as he goes deeper he runs into somebody else's home, and then eventually he goes so deep that he ends up causing problems for everybody, problems that could threaten everybody's home who lives underground, and he has to then turn to everybody else to so they can come together and solve the problem. That's a real quick take on what it's about, is him trying to get away from everybody and digging himself a deep hole to where he causes some problems, and then he has to rely on everybody else to solve it. And it was a cute little short movie with a really nice message about teamwork and working together, and there's not really much else to say about it. It was really well done 2D animation. I really wish that Disney would do more 2D animated stuff than they are doing, and not necessarily in the style of the Mickey Mouse 2D animated show, but something that's a little more reminiscent of what we get here. I would say this is very reminiscent. It's like the Don Bluth type of animation. And that's kind of what resonated with me the most in this short film, was the animation and the fact that it was maybe a mixture between like Don Bluth animation, maybe some Rankin Bass animation, and maybe just a smidgen of modern stuff thrown in there. The characters reminded me very much of like characters from like Wind in the Willows, that type of animation, and even that type of look. The humanizing of the characters, even what's the anthropomorphizing or something. The humanizing of these characters really reminded me of the Wind in the Willows characters also. So it definitely had a very classic, nostalgic look to it. The storytelling was very simple. It was very simple. It was a very linear story. And even the messaging was very on the nose. You got it. You watched it, you got it, you knew what they were trying to say. But the animation was what stuck with me. Like a lot of the short films that we've been seeing, not just on Disney Plus, but on Netflix and other places, there's not a lot of dialogue. I don't think there's any dialogue in this. It all came down to expressiveness on the face. It came down to the music. It came down to the body language of the characters, the sound effects. All that told the story. They didn't use dialogue to tell the story at all. It all came down to everything else that goes into a movie, and that's how they told the story. And I always find that to be very compelling. I found that compelling in a lot of the recent short films that I've watched, a lot of the recent short animated films that I've watched, and I found it compelling here, was the idea that they are exploring different ways to tell stories. And in this case, like I said, it really worked for me. So this was a good little film. I see no need to give a 6-minute film a rating or a grade, but I think you could do a lot worse for 6 minutes. My daughter and I, we were playing a game. We were playing a board game, something she got for Christmas, and she was like, "Can I go downstairs and play the Xbox?" And I said, "Sure, but first, why don't we watch this real quick?" She sat on my lap and we watched it, and it was a nice time. It was just a nice moment that we got to watch it together and laugh together and smile together, and it was great. So Burrow, like I said, It's not groundbreaking. It's not something that's going to change the world. It's not even something that's going to probably move you in ways that you haven't been moved before by other forms of storytelling. Sometimes none of that's necessary, though. Sometimes it's just nice to sit back and see wonderfully gifted animators do their thing. And in this case, that's what we got. So that's kind of my thoughts on the Disney Plus animated short film Burrow. What did you think of it? Let me know in the comments down below. I'd love to have a conversation about it. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel. I put out a lot of content. Want to make sure you're up to date with everything that I'm doing. And as always, thank you so much for joining me here at the Yoki Review, where we get to talk about all the geeky, nerdy stuff that we love to talk about. Until next time, we'll see you guys later.